if all of us decided to push the athlete, well, yes, we're going to provide a lot of hours of training, but also going to provide probably a burnout or some type of physical failure quite soon. That's the moment that you really make the champion. You know, that's the moment you really prepare those guys to face or to be prepared to face all the challenges they're going to face further down the tournament. Hi everyone, welcome back to the CPX or podcast here of Costa Performance, Boca Raton. I'm Dr. Cassiano Costa. Here today we're going to talk about the pre-season, the best moment for us strength and conditioning coaches. I do believe also the physios because they can do lots of preventive work associated with the strength and conditioning coaches and the tennis coaches. So to describe what we would call the pre-season, obviously the name comes as in before starting the competitive season. Tennis is a very tricky sport because the athletes are always traveling most of the time. They have not a large amount of time to train. On that time they have to train. They have to deal with their personal things. They have to deal with strength and conditioning, tennis, mental, physio. So it's a lot of ingredients for such a small amount of time. On the preseason is when the athlete is here for, depending on the team, 5 weeks up to 7 weeks sometimes. Obviously, it all depends on the level of tournaments the player is playing, when he or she start the competition season. But anyway, let's put an average of 5 to 6 weeks. I believe that moment is great because we can create better routines, we can explore more of the athlete in terms of physical demands. It's great that we have that part for them to start the season a little more solid. Normally on a team, the player will stop playing and is decided how long he or she will have for vacation, right? Now, keep in mind, vacation is tough to describe. I'll give you an example. Last Monday, we went to Miami to watch Alcaraz and Fonseca playing an exhibition game. And, one of them is a middle of his vacation. The other one just started preseason. So it's complicated depending on the level of the athlete and the expectation of the athlete. It's tough to really have a proper time of vacation. But assuming that he has or she has at least a break, we then create the weeks that are going to lead to the beginning of the competition. Now, for you guys to understand, overall, by rule of thumb, if the team has a great communication, I'm being lucky enough now to being helped this period of the year. Magda Linette and Diana Schneider, Coach Sasha and Coach Mark are being great on communicating, giving the space for us to work, believing on us, doing a good foundational preparation, even on the off season. So what I mean by that? Well, so when you know the days that your athlete going to start the preseason, then we normally stipulate, all right, let's create a 5-week program here, right? So you have the days of the week. So let's put here from Sunday to Saturday, and then you have your week 1, week 2, week 3, 4 and 5. And then that's where the communication between the team is very important, because if all of us decided to push the athlete, well, yes, we're going to provide a lot of hours of training, but also going to provide probably a burnout or some type of physical failure quite soon. So what we normally do, and the coaches are brilliant when they can help us on that. Overall, rule of thumb, those first, let's say, 10 days to 2 weeks, the tennis coach works more on fixing certain things that on the previous season didn't work well, or if it's a new coach, normally he's going to introduce some of his technical components, things that from the physical perspective, obviously there is still some demand or effort from the athlete. They're more technical. The athlete can do even under a certain level of fatigue. So probably week 1 and part of week 2, or sometimes week 1 and 2, that's where the participation of the strength and conditioning coach is bigger in terms of the volume and load. So normally we do a progression like a testing day 1, and then you go with a more progressive intensity, drop towards the end, so you provide some recovery. And if you have the whole second week, kind of same idea, we go progressively on the intensity and then we drop. And here the tennis overall will have a more consistent, constant, moderate intensity. Okay? Between week 2 and 3, that's where the transition starts to happen. Now, keep in mind one very important thing. Remember I mentioned about the physio, right? Obviously nutrition, mental coach also have their role here. But the physio is very aware of what's going on here for its preventive work. The time of the rehabilitation, the time of the recovery. So it's very important that all units are really thinking together here, so the athlete gets the best, develop his or her performance under still proper condition of recovery. Now, many other ways to recover. Obviously, the athlete must or should, or we expect, that is sleeping well, eating well, but you can use modalities. It's very popular. We are lucky enough to have a masseuse that helps with athletes here. So all those components are part of an equation that we try to push, but respecting the limit that is the athlete is capable to handle. Now, on the week 3, that's a trick week, because here, now the player is probably practicing with another players. Now the player is being pushed on court by the coach. So the strength and conditioning trainer or the physio or the fitness trainer, whatever you want to call, still should be able to do some load, but that load now, in terms of volume, the intensity, we still get a little bit of moderate high with probably, you see here on my valley, a little day of decompress, but the volume is much smaller. Now my participation in terms of hours probably reduce, or we split those hours and more hours will be addressed for preventive work, for situations that are going to require from the athlete, but not in a way that are going to fatigue or demand from him or her that will impact on court, because now the court is the one that is more dominant or at least parallel. Week 4 and 5, in some cases 5 and 6, in some cases 6 or 7, those weeks now tennis has the big priority. And here, especially on this moment here, mid-week 4 to the end of week 5, now the player gonna probably be playing points, game situations, things that he or she gonna find on the tournament, and those are very demanding. Now the fitness trainer, so here, if we didn't create a solid foundation, now here, we don't have much time to add many new things on the athlete. We still participate. Our volume probably dropped. Our intensity now probably is a little higher on the beginning of the week and much smaller at the end of the week. Now the rehabilitation and physio work also participate a lot. So as you can see, it's not like a rocket science, but it's not something simple that just, let's throw dices and see what we're gonna do today, or today we decide what we're gonna do tomorrow. So give you guys an example. Both coaches that I mentioned previously on the podcast, at the very beginning or at the very end of their season, they were already connecting with us and we were organizing. So when the athlete comes here, he knows what day 1 looks like, he knows what day 42 looks like, depending on the length of his or her off-season, pre-season. Now, here at Costa Performance, we are glad and lucky to work with so many international recognized athletes, high-level athletes. We do have a nice relationship with the coaches. We truly believe that with the communication, with the organization, it's if I have to compare a football team, you have the quarterback who coordinates all the plays, but then you have the role of all other players. So obviously, in a way, the tennis coach will be kind of the head coach or the quarterback, and the player will be right under that, because he or she will be the one kind of giving, all right, this is what I feel I need to, or this is what I expect at the end. And us, strength and conditioning, physical therapy, masseuse, and other professionals involved will be more a supportive system to make sure that engine is going. Also, during preseason, sometimes are good moments to try certain new things, new shoes, new rackets, new strings, because you do have time to build the body around these. You do have time to make sure that you make the selection for what you consider best for the next season. you don't want to do that 2 days before a competition, right? And throughout the season stuff, because you don't really have a block of time that allows you to do such things. Another thing that we have here, and that's specific from Florida, on the professional level, men's and women's, we do have plenty of athletes that practice here. Of course, not everyone comes to us. We'd love to, but a professional can come here and find a very, very decent level of practice, which a variety of players. Overall, the professionals who work here are quite connected, so we can provide a very nice environment. We do offer that opportunity for other players to experience whenever you guys would like to. As you know, we do have like a large team here with great professionals and with different backgrounds and cultures, which is good to accommodate any situation. Obviously, if you ever would like to learn more about it, don't forget to contact us on Instagram or even here through the channel. Another point that I like about the preseason is it creates a great connection between the team, right? So we were lucky to have Brandon Nakashima team here for the last couple weeks, and it's good to see how they all build up a very good relationship. Obviously, previous season they worked together. Obviously, at the end of the season, everyone is already like checked out. So it's good. They have a refresh. They have like a cool down. Each one on their own place with their own families. But then they get together, great energy. You can use off season. I know Diana Schneider will be doing fishing with the coach, movie theater. You build a little bit of life experience too. At the end of the day, if you have a team that is well connected, I think the chances of you succeed they increase just because you have the trust and the comfort of everyone. Examples of that, if you see like how connected Rafa Nadal was with his team. Nowadays, when you see Alcaraz, how connected they are with the team, it's pretty much the sense of a family, because that's the only time they kind of spend 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever it is, on the same place. After that is that craziness that every week you're waking up with a different language, different weather, different place. So it's important to create that foundation. I think, if I have to maybe quote, I would say that's the moment that you really make the champion. That's the moment you really prepare those guys to face or to be prepared to face all the challenges they're gonna face further down the tournament. The only, again, reinforcing one of the points, the only careful line you gotta follow is the load. If can be too much sometimes. We got a little excited, especially on the beginning when we're doing the transition between fitness and tennis. That can be a little too much. So it's important that the team has good communication and know what they're gonna offer. I believe you all know about this concept here, but the compensation or the super compensation line, right? So our body works under stress and it develops under stress, and normally develop positively. When I say stress, I'm talking about the physical stress, metabolic stress, mechanical stress of the sport. I'm not saying about life stress, but you have a line that is called homeostasis on your body. So physiologically, that's where your body should be or gonna be. Now, every time you do stimulation, every time you do like a high intense workout or a high intense training session, that line gonna drop. So let's say today is Monday and or here actually it's Wednesday, but let's say if it was day one and I'm doing a very hard session on the athlete, that line will drop a little bit. Following certain time of recovery, that line, the body naturally will become slightly better than the previous stage. And that's what the super compensation wants. That's what the development, like the getting fit means. Problem is, in sports life, we're stimulating the athlete almost daily basis. So how to calculate the proper load, how to calculate the proper intensity, how to calculate the proper volume, so that line, when goes down, can come back and improve instead of going down and down and down to we get either the injury line or the burnout situation. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind if you are a junior athlete or a professional athlete that doesn't have the budget yet to keep your own team taking care of that for you. Last but not least, remember I mentioned testing on the beginning. Obviously for me, the real testing is on court. The player, is able to perform or not. But we also normally have a retest based on week 3 or 4, just to make sure that when the athlete comes here from vacation per se, or time off, normally he would come a little bit, that homeostasis of his. So let's say here is his 100%, the lack of stimulus also drop. So let's say the player comes here at 80%. We wanna make sure that by week 3 or 4, he or she is either 100% or a little bit higher than the year before. Okay, so those are some ideas. Feel free to throw some questions to me, to us. I would love to help in any capacity that you guys would like to. So I hope to see you quite soon, and till next time.